I've had a few questions about the homework where you have to analyze some data from the water distribution simulation. So I'll go over it pretty quickly to give you a sense of what it is that I'm trying to have you do. The first thing you should do is calculate gross profit, and that's just equal to the difference between what you sold it for minus what it cost you. So you get all these gross profits. So that's pretty quick and easy. The next thing you want to do is answer a question about the probability that it's a clear, pure product. So I think I'm asking, whether it's either 1 liter or half liter clear, pure. That's the idea there. And what I suggest you do is create pivot tables from this and then work from there. So if I take the material description and the quantity is the quantity sold. So these are all sales. So there you sold 50 of the half liter spritz. There you sold 77 of the 1 liter clear, pure. These are all your transaction records of sales. And if I want to calculate the probability that it's a clear, pure product, well, that's this or this. So I could add those together and divide by this. That's the general idea. I'll go ahead and show you what I mean, but this is equal to B2 divided by B10, and I'll stick that in place. And did I make a mistake there? Oh, yeah, it's B3. And I'll get it right eventually. It's B4. And this is the probability of a sale of that particular product, in this case, clear, pure. I'll go ahead and drag it all down there. So these are all the probabilities of a sale. And so if I want the probability that it's a clear, pure product that's being sold, well, it's 33% plus 28%, so that's 61%. So let's look at this next question, and there's different ways to do that, but that's one way. I want you to get used to pivot charts. Let's look at this next question, which is the probability that the price of half liter clear, pure is between $19 and $20. Let's insert another pivot chart, pivot table. And in this case, I'm interested in all the different prices and then the count of sales. So in this case, I'm just counting the number of sales that took place at that price. So I'm counting these material descriptions in this case. Now, what you want to do is insert a slicer, because I just want to look at the half liter clear, pure. So if I did that right, this is the, no, that's spritz. There's half liter clear, pure. So believe me, you can make mistakes, so kind of check your work. So here are the number of sales. So it's not the quantity in the sale, it's just the number of sales that took place at these prices. And there's different ways to work this. I perhaps could have used quantity instead of count, and that's reasonable, but let's look at this. The count, I'm looking at the probability that a sale occurred at a price. So I would do the same thing where this is the total number of sales that occurred, 372, and I would divide by the 372. So I say the probability, I'll just do it, it's equal to B4, so I got it right that time, divided by B15, in this case, and that's the probability that the sale occurred at $17.90. And you can drag all it down. So these are the different probabilities. So if I want to do a cumulative probability, I start at 0. Let's start 0 here, and I add, I say, take the previous and add this current, and then I just drag this down. And so if I get this right, 23% is the probability that it's less than $17.90. 28% is the probability that it's less than $17.99. So if I want some difference, like between this one and this one, then I would just subtract those two. So I'd subtract 91% minus 33% and get about 57% in that range. So I hope that makes sense. So this is the cumulative probability distribution. So if I was to graph it, it goes up towards 1. That's the general idea, and I'll show you another way to do this. And then let's see. The last question was on price, or sorry, yeah, it was price and profit, gross profit. And in this case, let's insert another pivot table. In this case, I'm interested in the sales over time for a certain sales organization. So I'll insert a slicer for the organization and the material. So I think I asked you to do it for a specific material. And then I'm interested in that over time. And so over time, what was the gross profit? And so I say, well, pick a company and pick a product. And now I'm also interested in the price that was happening on those dates. So if I add price here, those are the price. Now that's the sum of the price. And it's like, well, I don't really want the sum of the prices for all those. I want the, so I'm going to, you might not be able to see that. I'm going to click on this sum of price, and under options, the field settings, I want the average price. So in other words, on this day, for this profit, this was the average price. That's the idea. So this was the average price for these gross profits on this day. And then you can create a chart that looks like this, and you go, well, I can't quite see that. I'm going to format this, and I'm going to put it on a secondary axis, and it doesn't look all that great either. And then I'm going to format this. Sorry, then I'm going to format this and change it to a line. So unfortunately, I'm in an older version of Excel, so you have to do things a little bit differently, but you'll figure it out. And so this line is the gross profits, and these orange ones are the price. So when the price was lowered, what happened to gross profits in this case? That's the idea. That's for Clear Pure, and there's half-liter Clear Pure, and there's this team and its implications for changing price. That team never changed their price, and so on. That's the idea.